Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Call. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is Steve Shanley, back for his weekly visits during the municipal band season. We're up to week number 4, and this is arguably the big week, the big patriotic week of Muni Band concerts for the year.
Yep, this is the one that if you're only going to attend 1 week, this is
probably going to be this one.
This is the equivalent of the Christmas service for the Lutherans, I guess, that everyone shows up for the patriotic municipal band concert.
You've got, is there an extra show, or is the normal schedule for Patriotic Week?
It's not an extra show, but it is a different schedule. So the normal Wednesday at Noelridge Park on the 28th of June, and then we will not have a concert on Sunday, and we will instead have that second concert on July 4th at Guthridge Park, which has sort of become, the last few years, a favorite place for the band and for the city of Hiawatha for us to sort of celebrate that partnership. And it's really a nice location. I think if you are looking to go out and do something on the 4th of July, but you are not interested in braving the traffic and the crowds of downtown Cedar Rapids, going to Guthridge Park where there's plenty of parking and being able to enjoy the band. And then there are some sort of unofficial fireworks shows in some of the neighborhoods nearby that some people tend to enjoy from some of those parks as well. So it's a great place to still go out, take the family, but know that you're not going to be sitting in a line of cars to go home. So I encourage you to come join us in Guthridge on the 4th. And again, no concert on Sunday the 2nd.
And you're comparing it to Christmas holiday music is pretty apt, because I'm sure that it is, from a programming standpoint, it is the same challenges that you get in putting together a holiday show, where you want some familiar stuff, but you don't want to play the same 4 songs over and over again.
Exactly. Yes, we have a couple that just every year need to make it into the program. We'll close with the Stars and Stripes Forever. We'll honor our troops with the Armed Services medley as well, and America the Beautiful, of course. And for that one, the Cedar Rapids Concert Chorale is joining us. They joined us last year on that one, and that was very effective. Always nice on America the Beautiful to enjoy the text, and especially with a fine group like the Cedar Rapids Concert Chorale, and that's directed by Jerry Kreitzer, my former colleague from Washington High School. So fun to work with him again in that setting. And we also have a couple other guests that week. The winner of our Young Artist competition was a Washington High School senior flute player, Jenna Sherman, and she's going to be joining us to play her solo with us that week. So that's the Concerto for Flute and Wind Orchestra by Derek Bourgeois. And I was not familiar with this. I was familiar with Bourgeois' writing, but I did not know he had written a concerto for flute. So we're going to play the first movement of that, and it's really, really cool. And it kind of times out perfectly to have her that week, because the rest of the music that we're playing for the band is really pretty easy, and this piece is a very challenging accompaniment for the band, so it'll be nice for them to have a little bit of a challenge, and they're not going to grumble too much about the patriotic music being too easy, that they'll still have something they need to practice. So very excited to feature Jenna on that. It's a super crowd-pleasing piece. Everyone's going to like that. And then on let's see here, June 28th, our performance at Noelridge, we're going to play a piece called The Greatest Generation, which is a tribute to the Greatest Generation, and that has narrator. Dennis, you might be familiar with this one.
Oh, yes. Did I? Yeah. I think I narrated this a few years ago with the band.
We had you narrate that five or 6 years ago.
That's a fun piece.
It is, and I'm sorry to say that I was able to find someone better than you this year. Mayor O'Donnell is able to join us for that.
Well, I will happily step aside for the mayor.
Yes, so she's going to join us for that, and I think I might be able to convince her to stick around and serve as the guest conductor of the Stars and Stripes Forever while I lead the annual parade of children around the park. So I think she's going to be able to help me out with that. So some great stuff there, and also I have I looked back on my programming over the last dozen or so years, and it seems like on the 4th of July program, the patriotic program, I usually end up programming some John Williams. either Star Wars or Superman or something to that effect, because he is just such an important part of America in terms of culture and certainly in terms of music. So we've got a cool collection of marches from the Star Wars films that we'll play. So you'll get to hear some of your favorites there as well. And then what American patriotic concert would be complete without a little bit of jazz. So we've got a medley to honor Louis Armstrong as well. So there's going to be something for everybody. This is one of those concerts that I'd say if you show up and sit through it for an hour and you don't like it, then I can't help you.
then you're never going to be pleased by anything you do.
Probably just don't like music. And
so that is Wednesday at Noelridge, no Sunday concert. Tuesday the 4th in Guthridge Park in Hiawatha.
Yes, and you can find, encourage you to come to our Facebook page, follow us on Facebook. We've got so many great photos there, and our crew under the leadership of Justin Comer will be live streaming as well, so you can watch the video and hear his high-quality audio of the concert if you're not able to join us in person, and that also is our best place for weather updates, although my poor lawn would say that we're not going to probably have any sort of need for weather updates anytime soon. So very optimistic both concerts are going to go on as planned. You can also find us at crmuniband.org.
Hey, before we go, give us just a quick, tiny little preview of the next week, because of the 4th of July holiday. We'll not be speaking next week. So what does the post-patriotic week look like?
Week 5, we're going to feature one of our own longtime musicians from the tuba section, Chris Bird. I'm very excited. He's a good friend of mine and is one of those, he's like a workhorse. He just shows up every week back there in the tuba section. He can sight read anything, and he's really good at helping the other tuba players with sort of figuring out balance and fingerings and intonation and all that sort of stuff. And as I was getting ready to program this summer, and I'm going through and looking at the personnel, and I thought, how in the world have we gone this far and not featured Chris on the tuba? He's just one of those, because he's pretty quiet and keeps his head down, you kind of forget just what a phenomenal musician he is. And a lot of our listeners will know him as a fine bass player from area groups, the CR Jazz, and his cover band Holiday Road. So very fine bass player, and then also plays in the Iowa Brass on tuba as well. One of the hardest working musicians in town, so excited to feature him on a little bit of the Wilhelm tuba concertino. And that was a piece I did not know previously. He suggested it, and I listened to it, and I thought, oh, this is going to be perfect. Everyone's going to love this, very crowd pleasing. So excited to have Chris joining us for that. And then a cool piece that'll be a little bit of a workout for the percussion section called The Bicycle Shop by Lisa Despain, and that's got all sorts of cool percussion toys, and as you can guess by the title, sort of helps paint a musical picture of what it might be like inside a bicycle shop. So some good stuff for us on week 5.
All right. Well, come back for week 6 and we'll talk again. But in the meantime, of course, you can always find more information at crmuniband.org or the Facebook page.
Yep. Thanks, Dennis.
Thanks, Steve. You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:30, or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture, or using your favorite podcast player. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.